So when I was in college at Cornell, I was struggling with depression and fatigue and burnout and overwhelming stress. And so I was having some kind of emotional issues with my girlfriend at the time. And she wanted me to talk to a counselor. So I go meet with this counselor, and it's basically just like arguing with some guy's ego. And I was a young, cocky kid myself, and I was like, this sucks. So I stopped doing that. Then I graduate from Cornell and I start becoming a vegan, and I'm really excited about it, and I want to live passionately, and I want to follow principles and do good. And I basically just collapse after graduating, like from the fatigue and the burnout. And I'm just like, I just want to do like rest all summer, and I start losing weight, and my family's concerned. So I go and I meet with this naturopath, and she says, you got to eat more. You just got to eat more. I was like, okay. And I'm just basically eating like oatmeal for breakfast, rice and beans for lunch and dinner. And I'm getting sicker. I'm getting more fatigued, losing more weight. So I start attending this nutrition school in the city, and they're basically just teaching all the trendy information out there. So we're learning about all different things. We're learning about macrobiotics, and it's like, ooh, meat's contractive, and, fruits and vegetables are expansive, and you got to eat all these fermented foods. And they're teaching about Ayurveda and Kapha, Pitta, Vata. It's like, ooh, I'm a little spacey. Maybe I'm Vata, but I'm also big bone, so maybe I'm a little Kapha. And it's like all this information. They're telling us about oxalates. You got to cook your spinach, which is the opposite. And just all made up, meaningless, man-made stuff. And, they're teaching us how you have to combine grains and legumes to get a complete protein, and just all this stuff. And we're reading these books, and presenters are coming in teaching all the different trends, right? And it's like being spun around with a blindfold in a maze and then said, okay, now heal. It's just chaos. So then I'm getting worse. So I meet with a naturopath. I think I already mentioned that, actually. I meet with a medical doctor, and she diagnoses me with depression. And she's like, you gotta just eat whatever you want. Eat like tons of ice cream, eat potato chips. So I would get home and I'd eat a bowl of ice cream, and then I'd feel like sluggish and more depressed. And what people were telling me was not aligning with my experience. And I would tell people that, and they wouldn't believe me. I was like, I eat ice cream and I feel depressed, and my family would think it's something wrong with me. They wouldn't believe me. So I'm getting invalidated. I'm getting worse and worse. I start breaking with reality and like developing psychosis, and it just spirals out of control. And that's what it was like before finding medical medium. No one knew what caused anything. No one knew what caused the symptoms of illness. No one had clarity about how the body actually works. There's still focus on, you got to get your protein. My family was telling me, you got to get your protein. You got to get your protein. All these trends that have been literally messing people around for decades. And when you're sick, you're just lost in it, and you don't have a way out. It's like sinking in a hole of confusion with everyone around you just telling you things that aren't true and that are kind of invalidating your experience. And it was terrifying. It was excruciating. It was just the worst. And for the first time, finding the medical medium information, getting real answers, knowing that it wasn't my fault, knowing that the body actually needs glucose, not protein, and not to combine fats with sugar, and knowing that I needed trace minerals, I needed the celery juice and the mineral salts from leafy greens, and learning about the heavy metals in my brain, which was causing overheating and which was causing disorganized thinking, and the viral condition that was contributing to my fatigue and my depression. Like, learning the actual reality of the way the body works and what causes illness, I was able to finally start to heal and finally start to try to put the pieces back together of my life after a decade of being just torn apart, left to die by society, all the practitioners, well-meaning, who tried to help me but didn't have the answers, and ended up practically homeless. And it's just insane. Like, when I think back of everything I went through and how unnecessary it was, if the health industry could just stop trying to build their own castles on their own man-made empires and just actually acknowledge the truth. It's just insane. So I'm just so I'm so excited and grateful for this information, and that people have it now, and that they don't have to go through what I went through. Once you find this information, you don't have to go through that rigmarole and roundabout and the merry-go-round of craziness in the health trends. And it's just a wonderful thing. So God bless you on your healing journey, and take care.